Iran's supreme leader, the Ayatollah Khamenei, says his country will retaliate if the U.S. or its allies attack first. The warning follows U.S. President Donald Trump's threat to bomb Iran if the Islamic Republic does not agree to a new nuclear deal with the U.S.
Ayatollah Ali Khamenei arrives for prayers in Tehran to celebrate the end of the holy month of Ramadan. In his speech, a clear message to the U.S.
The enmity from the U.S. and Israel has always been there. They threaten to attack us, which we don't think is very likely. But if they do commit any mischief, they will surely receive a strong reciprocal blow.
It was Iran's supreme leader's response to U.S. President Donald Trump's demands for a new nuclear deal between the two countries. Trump recently repeated his threat that Iran would be bombed if it does not accept his offer for talks. He has also threatened to impose new economic penalties on the country.
We're going to make a decision on secondary tariffs on Iran based on whether or not they're going to make a deal. If they're going to make a deal, then we're never going to put secondary tariffs on. You know, they have a great, long, successful life as a country. But we'll see what happens.
Since taking office in January, Trump has reinstated his maximum pressure policy. In his first term, the U.S. withdrew from a landmark agreement on Iran's nuclear program and reimposed sanctions on Tehran. Western countries have long accused Iran of pursuing a nuclear weapon and using proxy forces to expand its influence in the region, charges Tehran rejects. Iran has said it will not engage in direct talks under the threat of military action, but it has left a door open for talks through intermediaries.
Well, joining me now is Alex Vatanka, a Middle East analyst and founding director of the Iran program at the Middle East Institute in Washington, D.C. It's good to see you again. You know, it was U.S. President Trump who took the U.S. out of the original nuclear deal with Iran. What would this new nuclear deal, what would it look like?
Good to be with you. Look, I mean, I think most people would agree that President Trump does not have a grand strategy when it comes to the Iran issue, the Iranian nuclear file. In fact, I would say he would wish it would go away. But the reality is, in terms of politics here in Washington, D.C., where I'm speaking to you from, you know, he needs to do something on the Iran issue. There are plenty of different factions that want to see some movement on the Iran issue. And some of U.S. allies in the Middle East, particularly Israel and some of the Gulf countries, wanted to see some action. And that forces President Trump to do something. But in terms of your specific question, what would it look like? President Trump has made it very clear. All he's asking for, essentially, and this is something Iran should be able to live with, is that there is no Iranian nuclear weapon. President Trump has said that is his red line. So Iran can have a civilian nuclear program, but just no weapon, which essentially means we go back to 2015. That was the Iranian nuclear deal signed with the Obama administration. Right. But if Iran is smart, they have to make some adjustments to make President Trump feel like a winner here.
Yeah, well, Iran is resisting any negotiations directly with the United States over a new nuclear agreement. Why is that?
Look, you've got to understand the political cultural setup in the Islamic Republic. In Tehran, you have, and my sources there tell me this all the time, Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has been there, the top political figure since 1989. And if there's one issue that he's invested in more than anything else is this sort of, if you will, enmity, opposition to the United States. So for him to make a big U-turn on this is not that easy. And he fears that the style of diplomacy of President Trump and his team might just leave Iran humiliated. And that's why he wants indirect, subtle, behind-the-scene talks so something can be agreed on beforehand. And then if it's seriously going to have a prospect of success, then they can tell the world what happened. He wants a deal, no doubt about it. Khamenei wants a deal. He's pretty much said that repeatedly in recent weeks, but he's really scared of being humiliated by Trump.
So if we don't negotiate then with cameras in front of us, does that mean there's another way? Is there a way for diplomacy to work to bring about a deal and a new nuclear deal?
Some of that is already happening. I mean, the country of Oman has done a lot of shuttle diplomacy in recent weeks and months. There are other candidates out there that are offering their services. Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and most likely the next country or the first country for this President Trump 2.0 to visit. They've offered their services. So there are ways to sort of pursue diplomacy if there's a political will in Washington, Tehran. I think there is a political will in Washington, Tehran. Both sides want to look like they're going in as essentially the ones who are demanding the other side to succumb, and that's the wrong way about it. So, calming the rhetorical side of things would really help the diplomatic track at this moment.
Alex Vitanka, as always, we appreciate your time and your insights tonight. Thank you.